Good afternoon, everyone. Virgo here. You're going to take a little fun journey with me. This is going to be a little different than what you've ever experienced on my channel before. This I am actually doing live without being live. You're going to see exactly what I do when I'm doing a reaction video without any editing being done. Some of you may enjoy that. Some of you will probably get irritated by it, and I apologize, but I'm going to try it because of the platform that I am doing this live reaction on doesn't allow me to stop and start. So whatever comes out, comes out. And I think that that is going to be important when you see what video it is that I'm actually going to be reacting to. Ladies and gentlemen, meet SharonT.Gale Bay. Now, I have, in all fairness, already heard approximately 5 minutes of this video. The first 5 minutes of this video by itself is so asinine that I had no choice but to do this. You see, I was just compelled to do this. So as I said, whatever flies out, flies out. You'll have to forgive me. But Sharon is on her mighty horse. She is taking a trip to La La Land. And we're going to watch and see what it is that she is saying. And I think you guys will appreciate that one of the people she does not like on YouTube is Virgo Triad. Imagine that. Here we go, folks.
I know a lot of individuals are at work today, as well as at the jobs.
Right off the bat, they're at work and on the jobs. Apparently, those are not the same thing to her, but at work and on the jobs, you guys.
Okay. I know a lot of people are at work or at the jobs, but I felt it necessary for me to state some obvious lawful facts and not just facts. They're lawful facts.
All right, Sharon, so let me start off here. Lawful facts is not a thing, sweet pea. What we have here are either evidentiary facts, which is a fact that makes other facts much more probable. You can have the ultimate fact in law, which is usually inferred from a number of supporting evidentiary facts. But facts are facts, and lawful facts, just not a thing. So you're not even a full minute in, and you're already making shit up. Here we go.
Facts. The truth cannot be disputed or debated. It just is what it is, right? I had a Moorish American national contact me in regards to an attorney general or a presumption that an attorney general made an accusation or made stated an opinion when that was false information appearing to be real. Is all? I was like, in Moors, we need to understand that we need to discern truth with myth, hearsay, or propaganda. I'm going to say that again.
Do you have
propaganda. To? Does anybody know what propaganda means?
All they have to do is watch you for a while, Sharon, and they'll be listening to propaganda. The sad part is, you didn't even realize your crap was propaganda, but now you've spent 2 years sitting behind bars, putting forth your propaganda into use, what you thought was going to be used by the courts. And guess what? It didn't work. So what you have to say, my dear, is all propaganda. Perfect example of propaganda, as a matter of fact.
I'm going to look it up. Okay.
Yeah, you should have looked it up.
There's a lot of YouTube channels out there. I will never name the individuals I'm speaking about because they can't even name themselves.
She talking about me, you guys.
Validate or substantiate what it is that they're pushing on their social platforms and more. I hold you specifically accountable for watching videos from individuals who are at a legal disability to even be heard.
Woo! Talking like a pure cult leader here. See, here you go, Moors. She doesn't want you, if she's being too subtle, she doesn't want you to listen to anyone of opposing view. Because if you do, you might actually look at those links in the description of the video and see what it is that they're talking about. If they have an opposing view, Sharon does not want you to watch it. Just like a cult leader. Good job, Sharon.
Islam?
Salami.
So an accusation was lodged over 3 months ago as it relates to what a so-called governor of a corporation, which is a CEO of a for-profit corporation, has stated as it relates to Moorish American nationals and the Moorish National Republic federal government.
No, that's incorrect, Sharon. Governors are not CEOs of corporations. See, you're so confused, so incredibly confused. And the sad part about it is you keep proclaiming that you've done your research, but the truth is you've done none unless it came out of Taj Tariq's mouth.
Islam?
Salami.
If everybody operating not in their proper person at a legal disability are making comments on social media, it is the responsibility of every Moorish American national to correct and rebut those claims.
In other words, if Sharon disagrees with it or it goes against Sharon and the Max narrative, then it is up to all of you whether you want to find information that's valuable and validated and sourced or not. You are to go against it, no matter what.
Truth with facts with law.
Truth with facts with law. The problem is what you're saying is not true. It's not factual and there's no legal standing for it. So, unfortunately, all you're doing is being a cult leader.
Islam?
Salami.
I'm going to read something. I don't even know if I want to do that.
Yeah, you really need to be careful about what you read. Here's the reason why. See, you are in the state of Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania General Assembly, Title 42, 2524 says there's a penalty for unauthorized practice of law. And the general rule of that is, except as provided in subsection B, which you don't qualify for, any person, included but not limited to a paralegal or a legal assistant, who within the Commonwealth shall practice law or who shall hold themselves out to the public as being entitled to practice or teach law, or to use or advertise the title of a lawyer, a judge, an attorney at law, an attorney and counselor at law, a counselor, or the equivalent of any of those, such as you do on the Moorish American Consulate website, in any language, in such a manner as to convey the impression that he is a practitioner of the law of any jurisdiction without being licensed as an attorney at law, commits a misdemeanor of the third degree upon a first violation, and a second or subsequent violation of this subsection constitutes a misdemeanor of the first degree. And you know what, Sharon? That's what you're doing. Geez, I think you need to be careful. You spent enough time in-house already. You didn't learn anything from it, clearly. But let's not do this again. Honestly, I am tired of covering your garbage on my channel. I would be thrilled if you would stop giving out disinformation. I would be thrilled if I didn't ever have to speak your name again. And if you get yourself in trouble, it's going to be years again that I have to deal with that.
I'm going to find what I have. I'm not going to give this individual a voice on my
No, you just talk about me for 34 minutes.
Platform. I'm not going to give anybody a voice on my platform who are at a legal disability to speak.
What is this about a legal disability, you guys? I mean, I just got checked out at the doctor like a month and a half ago. I'm fine. I have no legal disability. She seems to be referring to the fact that none of us have any kind of ability to understand laws in any form. And if we, God forbid, choose to use them or speak about them or anything of any sort, that we're to be looked at as some kind of subject of theirs, which is really freaking hilarious. Really freaking hilarious. She's going to go on crazy, crazy town in just a minute here.
Lawfully, which is why they won't even on their public platforms state for the record who they are.
Oh, she's going full April or June, you guys. Listen to me, sweetheart. Okay. It matters not who I am, as long as I have verified and sourced information that I can provide as evidence. That's all that matters. It wouldn't matter if I was Betty Boop. My name and my face do not matter at all. All that matters is the evidence that I have provided in every single video, and will do so again in this video, because when it boils down to it, it's the facts that matter. Not lawful facts, just the facts. And you, my dear, have none. Not so far, anyway.
Won't even show you their face. They won't even tell you their name, status, or rank in society.
Rank? Here we go. Crazy town.
They won't tell you this, but they'll sit here and make a video that you will watch.
Thank goodness, at least they're getting some actual valid information.
On the consulate phone number, the Moorish American consulate, as a Supreme Judiciary, you're going to call me on my phone and say, well, what's this?
Flat out lies. Now they're flat out lies. I have never, ever picked up the phone and called SharonT.Gale, or anyone else for that matter, to ask questions or for any other reason. Now, if someone else within the watchdog group has called because that is what they choose to do, that's one thing. But that is not what Virgo does. I do not pick up the phone and call any one of you crazy extreme believers for information from you, because nothing you would provide to me would mean anything. And I care about factual information. So to sit and lie and claim that I've made some kind of phone calls to you is pathetic, and a desperate cupcake kind of cry for attention.
Had a nerve to say this, but in actuality, they never even said it. Right? It's propaganda pushed by people at a legal disability because there's fear going around the Moroccan Empire by those immigrants that came here to do business and they forgot their status as it relates to this continent.
How sad. How sad. She just spent 2 years behind bars and she's not better. She's worse. I mean, she's calling a full-blooded Native American an immigrant, number one. This is sad. Ugh.
If you do not have a nationality, and if you are a United States citizen, you are at a legal disability to make any claim as it relates to property here at Morocco.
And look at look at that face. I mean, she is really forcing this out. What did you do, Sharon? Did you just start going through my videos from the last couple years? What are you so upset about? Oh, that's right. I forgot. She's upset because she realizes that there are some Moors that are on the fence. They've caught you in your lies. They realize you couldn't get yourself out of jail. They realize Light Tajiri was in jail for 13 days. And that's a whole nother story, you guys. I mean, this woman's over there. Light Tajiri's over there talking about, we're going to hand over all your fiat to me and I'll provide you with credit from the Moorish bank. I mean, we're talking about all kinds of fraud over there. She's got a record. You've got a record. Now you have to try to put your foot down, Sharon, so that the very people you claim to be standing for, the very people that you tell that you want them to be educated, you're telling them not to watch an opposing view. What does that say about you? Don't you realize that the fastest way to get people to turn on you, to doubt what you're saying, is to attempt to try to triangulate them in some way? To try to tell them that they can't have a mind of their own? Let them watch my channel. Let them watch your channel. Let them watch all the channels. Let them make up their own mind what's real and what's not based on factual evidence. But you can't have that. You know why? Because you're a fraud. You're a fraud. And you're not happy with the turnout of your little group. They're leaving you, aren't they? Yeah.
There's only 2 statuses here. Technically 3. Moors subjects, and foreign nationals who have treaty relations with the Moroccan Empire and the Moroccan people, the sovereigns, which I am an heir of.
Won't you take me to crazy town?
Right,
won't you take me to crazy town?
So there was some comments as to needing recognition, needing validation. You validate who you are, Moors. You validate your government. Your government, a government is of the people.
And now she's talking all kinds of nonsense, because what I said was, it's necessary if you're going to try to create a whole new meaning behind Moors, which originally the Moors were Berbers who were Arabs from Morocco. You're claiming to be from the Americas. You're claiming to be indigenous. And if that's the case, if you're claiming these things, then there needs to be DNA done to prove it, because you're talking about a whole new group of people. You're not talking about what the original federal government put aside and said, here's a class of people called the Moors. Those people were from Morocco. Now you're talking about being a whole different group of people. I think that the reason why you feel it's important to continue to put this idea down, as you have in the past, by making claims like, oh, DNA is totally inaccurate. If it was so inaccurate, then why is it that there are so many cases where people have been located, people have been missing, people have been found, murdered people have been, there has been the same DNA that's been located on that person as with the killers. I mean, DNA has been proven to be very accurate, but yet somehow, you're trying to get your people, quote unquote, your people, as you call them, to believe that DNA tests are not accurate. And to boot, like there should be no, oh no, willy-nilly, we can just walk around and claim we're this or that based upon the color of our skin. And you like to call other people $5 Indians. Wow.
The people established that, and the only people that can establish that here at Morocco are Moors who can establish government here. Everybody else is a corporation doing business here, sanctioned by the treaties and the constitutions between parties.
Here's the thing, Sharon. I'm gonna ask you this question, and I really think you should give not me, but the people that follow you an answer. So you believe everybody's a corporation, and you believe all these things are corporations, and explain to me how it's possible that you could have all these corporations incorporated under nothing. Because, see, you can't do articles of incorporation under another corporation. The United States is a country, not a corporation, but you don't believe that. You believe that the United States is a corporation. And therefore you believe that the actual country is a totally different country than what it really is. But does that mean you're saying that all of the corporations are incorporated under Morocco? Because if that's the case, woo, I mean, we've got some serious stuff we can go through there. Just explain that, Sharon. Explain how everybody's a corporation under a corporation. I mean, you know so much about law, right? You understand so much about the Uniform Commercial Code. You know everything, right? You've read the whole Black's Law Dictionary.
Are you a party? Are you a signed individual? So the individual who wrote this, who did a YouTube channel, who will not name herself or who she is or who she represents, but Moors all over the continent want to read her documents and tell me that what she's saying to validate it. I'm not validating anybody with a legal disability, and they know that they have a legal disability because they won't even identify themselves on their own platforms.
Oh, no, I have no disability, sweetheart. I have no disability. No, I'm totally healthy at this point. And to be perfectly honest with you, you are really barking up a bad tree here. Your debate skills need to be sharpened big time because, see, once again, it matters not what my name or my face is. If I'm giving valid sourced information with every video, that's what it is. It's factual evidence for what my statements are. And since you're not actually debating that, whether my information is valid or not, but your debate is that I'm not showing my face or saying my name or who I work for. Here, I'll give you one, Sharon. I'll give you one. Who do I work for? I don't work for anyone. I work on behalf of every last person you have ever or will ever scam. That is your game. That's what you are a part of. And I will follow this through for those people, many who have not even recognized it yet, until you're brought down and face justice. That is who I work for. I work on behalf of those people.
As to who they are. An affidavit of allodial secured land property repossession, written statement, notice of public records, status correction. Moors, your property claims supersede any and everybody else, including those who have a legal disability to even be party to a claim. So that's why when we send out our writ of acceptances and executions by the Moorish American Consular Court pursuant to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship 1836, that is a part of the United States statutes, i.e., automatically a part of every so-called state statutes, as part of the municipal code and the municipal law, and it supersedes any state regs. Automatic.
Incorrect. 100%. Everything you just said has absolutely no legal grounding whatsoever. It means nothing. Speaking in circles is what con men do, and that is what you're doing. The Treaty of Peace and Friendship only need to be read in order to determine that that was about going back and forth on this ocean between United States and Morocco, and what was legal and what wasn't legal on the ocean. It was about pirating, it was about cargo, and nothing else. And it means nothing to the Moors. Not one single thing.
Every class that I hold, I show you validation as to what I'm saying. I'm not going to use anything what somebody says on their platform, as well as some administrative process that they're all required to adhere to. Putting things in the record, it is their responsibility lawfully to do it. When you come down there and you're a proper person to put anything on the record, they have a duty per the Constitution to record it.
What she just said, again, go back and listen to what she just said, Moors, because it means nothing. It is word salad. It is total word salad. Means nothing. Anyone who puts something in the court record, a judge has a duty to make a motion on it. But what she is referring to is 100% word salad. She is saying nothing here.
They cannot not record it, and if they try to push that, they can't accept your nationality identification cards, or they can't accept your allodial affidavit of fact. You need to be leading them because they're in violation of the law.
100% garbage. Means nothing. No documentation that can be provided within the United States country laws says anything about any of that. And leaning a person without using the proper reason behind leaning it, which it's simply a financial instrument to use for the purpose of obtaining collateral on a loan, is highly illegal, considered frivolous, and is now criminal in most states because of the scam that this woman is running.
Plain and simple, Morris. You have to recognize we are stepping back into the constitutional fold of government. We left it. What? I have no idea.
You don't, because you don't understand history. You don't understand economics. You don't even understand the government well enough to understand what their specific regulations are for those that are diplomats, for those that are of special indigenous groups. You don't understand anything, Sharon, because you don't actually research real laws. All you do is spew out Taj Tariq's Sovsit garbage. And now you're making up your own. You're not even following the basic principles of the Sovsit More movement that Taj got on. Now you're just making stuff up.
But the point that I'm trying to make to you is that an affidavit or a letter was misconstrued as to coming from the Attorney General of the so-called corporation styled as Texas to state that something was in controversy. The Moorish National Republic federal government is not in controversy, and we need no acknowledgement from anyone.
Oh, yes, you do. You need acknowledgement from those that give you permission to become your own little group. And that's all you are, is a little group, a little baby group, as a matter of fact. You have absolutely no legal standing above and beyond anyone else. And get that through your thick head, because the longer that you play this game, the longer you give out bad legal advice, and the longer you scam others, the more time you're going to see right back where you were before. There is no such thing as the government you claim, Sharon.
We are the law. We are the people. The Moorish American nationals dictate how commerce is to commence here on our land. And we have treaties, and we have
how commerce is to commence on our lands. Really? You're in charge of that, huh? You're in charge of all the capitalist segues in this country. You're in charge of that, are you? You're in charge of nothing, Sharon. You're in charge of nothing. Everyone has the same standing when it comes to this. You are not in charge of anything. You don't even understand how commerce works in this country. It's really sad and embarrassing to watch you with the arrogance.
Constitutions that solidify that claim. Islam? So, Morris, when you go into any of the tribunals, these unlawful venues by individuals at a legal disability to act. I did that class on purpose. Watch it. I'm not doing this for my health.
No, you're doing this for recognition of some sick psychosis that you've got, Sharon. Sharon, I fear you are very narcissistic. And I know you want to be in charge of something, honey, but you're just not. Now, you've got the capacity to learn, so I wish you would do so. You really could make something of your life, but as it stands right now, all you're doing is trying to gather up an army of individuals in an anti-government swing to attempt to try to gain some clout, gum up some court systems, and it's been going on for decades. There's nothing new about what you're doing. Extremists have been doing this for ages. And you know what? It's not going anywhere. You're wasting your time, and you're wasting everybody else's time. And the worst part about it is you've got kids. You've got kids, and the people that you're doing this to, they have kids. A lot of them have kids. You're an embarrassment, Sharon. It's extremely disturbing to see you harping on this like you are. It really is. It's extremely disturbing. You've learned nothing. You're going to try to tell everybody that you know the laws, that you understand this, and it's all about you, and you're the ones who dictate this and that. You couldn't even find yourself out of a very simple case. You couldn't even get yourself out of jail. Sharon, you've got to wake up.
This to help us all operate in honor and nobility on our lands as it relates to commerce here. Now they're going to always put paperwork out there. You should be able to refute it automatically. And if anybody sit here and makes an opinion that the Moorish National Republic federal government, the people, the Moorish American nationals, are some type of non-lawful organization, which it's not, it is your...
No, I'm sorry, dear. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. It's a fact. All your little government that you claim is no different than filing articles of incorporation for a club. That's all you've been given permission to be. And anyone can do that. You're not special. You're not special. I know you want to be, but you're not. You have no diplomatic status. You're not the queen of anything. You're not an empress. You are an American citizen, just like everybody else.
Responsibility to check them because they're warring against you and me. And if they make that attack to you, they make that attack automatically to me because we are one and the same. There's no schisms here. I'm for you, you're for me automatically. The law supports my claim.
Wrong. The law supports all of my factual evidence and none of your claims. Sharon, why don't you explain to everyone the reason why you spent the time you did in jail without taking a plea deal to begin with, when you could have been out 6 months sooner, or maybe even more than that? Why don't you explain that? Because you were not held as a political prisoner, Sharon. I have the transcripts to prove it. You were not held for any reason other than the fact that you broke the law. And none of your crazy rambling paperwork that, by the way, has been tried thousands of times before, never has worked. You kept trying anyway. And as a result, you continued to hold up the court so as not to go to trial. You could have been out of there a long time before you were. But your pride and your ego were more important. And as a result, at the end, you sold out anyway, didn't you? Against your own claims. You sold out anyway. Why? Because you had no choice. None of your claims of legal standing of Moors is real. And you have got to start being honest. Your face is out there. Your name is out there. People know who you are. Don't you think they're going to be awfully angry when they realize that you've lied about all of this?
If you need assistance from me, it is my responsibility to help you and vice versa, pursuant to the Holy Circle 7 Quran, Article 25. I'm never going to turn any Moorish American national away, nor shall I be by you. So if you contact me or you contact any of these other Moorish American consular courts that's operating at Morocco, which is their lawful authority to do, support. But also know what you're talking about, Moors, because the documents specified. In regards to the documents presented for recording in the Office of Public Recordings of Fort Bent County. Okay, Fort Bend County is a for-profit corporation operating under the jurisdiction of the so-called Texas Corporation. Automatically, that's what they do. That's what they are.
Okay, let me get this straight. So there's a county that's a corporation under a state that's a corporation, or a city that's, no, wait, a state that's a corporation. And then a state that's a corporation under what, Sharon? Under what? See, that's what you don't get. The very basic of your argument. You believe that the country is a corporation, and it's not. And I've proven over and over again the claim of, Section 3002 is just an example of that section. I've proved that. I've proved that the United States Service Corporation is actually a corporation that is for the purpose of filing articles of incorporation, and only that. They're not talking about the actual United States of America. Your entire argument falls apart the minute you recognize that the United States is not a corporation. It never will be. It never could be. Foreign entities cannot incorporate, not file articles of incorporation in another corporation. Doesn't work like that. States are not corporations, Sharon. Federal corporations are things like the United States Postal Service. That's what a federal corporation is. Again, it doesn't matter to you because you really already know these things. You're a con artist.
All subject to you, North American nationals, pursuant to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, which supersedes the Constitution for the United States of America and Morse, overstand you are absolutely not held to that Constitution. They are held to that Constitution.
Wow. Now, see, now we are talking about some stuff that will get your butt in a sling. So, according to her, the laws don't matter. Laws don't matter. The Constitution doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Sharon and her friends are so big and bad that they are more powerful than the country, than the Constitution, but yet they can't seem to get a toehold to even get Sharon out of jail. Something seem wrong here? Think about it, Moors that are sitting on the fence. Does something seem wrong here? Big and bad, right? Moors have this right, have that right, every kind of right you can freaking imagine. But they just can't seem to get up that step far enough to bring down that supposed alleged United States of America corporation. I just don't know why they can't do it. I just don't know why. And let's not even talk about bringing down those. How about just getting one person out of jail? Just one. It just didn't work, did it? Just didn't work. What about the fact that you can go on Google Scholar and pull up 260 cases where it just didn't work? Not once. Not once. This woman is lying to you. You're not going to listen, and I'll be reporting on you next, probably. But if you want to really talk about propaganda, here's your propaganda.
You are held to the bilateral agreement, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, where it says Article 20 and 21, how disputes are to be handled. And because of the 1956 Public Statute Law 856, the United States relinquished jurisdiction as it relates to consular courts.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It's not statuette. A statuette is like a porcelain thing. Statute.
For them, so they don't have no say in actions enforced or commanded by the Moorish American consular courts. They can't even be a party because they relinquish jurisdiction, extraterritorial and consular court jurisdictions here at Morocco.
Well, they sure exercise jurisdiction over you, Sharon. See, it's actually really reversed. You guys have heard about people that do things like manipulate. Okay, so here we go. You've heard of the definition of projection, right? That's very simply where somebody is feeling very agitated and upset about something that they've done, and maybe they've lied. We'll say they lied, okay? And so they go to the person that they lied to, and they all of a sudden escalate out of nowhere an argument, and they claim that the person they lied to is lying to them. That's what Sharon's doing right now. It's called projection. And she's excellent at projection. She does it quite frequently when she's not either playing the victim or gaslighting you folks. But one thing Sharon doesn't do is provide valid, sourced evidence to you that you can read yourself. As a matter of fact, it's backwards from that. Sharon doesn't even want you going outside of her vision to research opposing views at all. Now, that's not even safe. That's like a used car salesman saying, no, you have to buy this gremlin, okay? I want you to buy this gremlin. I don't want you going and looking at over there at that nice Denali. No, you can't go over there because that's not really a Denali. That's actually a jalopy. Okay, no, don't go over there and look at it. Don't even talk to them. Don't even talk to them. You have to buy this gremlin. Don't buy the gremlin, folks.
So, all actions from the Moorish American consular courts all around the empire are ex parte actions, meaning we're not considering you as a party, one, because you're at a legal disability to even present any argument. And why is that? Why? Expatriation talks about why that is a fact at law.
She has no idea what she's talking about. Expatriation is something you have to do yourself. And once you expatriate yourself, you have to actually have a country that you're expatriating to. And once you expatriate to that country, you had better get your rear end in that country because you no longer have anything to do with this land. Now, if you expatriate and you don't expatriate to a country, then you are stateless. And that is something that's very dangerous. Now, here's the problem with this whole scenario here. For a while there were some gurus trying to teach people to expatriate. And people were finding themselves in this situation. You expatriate, you can't get a job. You expatriate, you can't rent an apartment. If you expatriate, you can't carry a driver's license. You are no longer a citizen of any country. You can't get help from anyone. And you are illegal in every place you go. That's what expatriating without a country means. So if you allow yourself to expatriate, the word of someone who has absolutely no idea what it means, then you're facing a very scary future.
Why? Because by naturalizing to become a so-called United States citizen, which does not exist in law, you became a legal. You changed your law status as a national or a foreigner to a legal disability under a jurisdiction that doesn't even exist. There's no such thing as a United States citizen, y'all. The 14th Amendment was never ratified, and nothing outside of that constitutional agreement that was between the sovereigns of the land, which was the Moors, which is the Moors, and then the Caucasians who
Stop, Sharon. You're going to get yourself out of breath. First of all, I've already proven that the 14th Amendment was ratified. Okay, that's false, you guys. It was ratified. Sharon, again, didn't do her studies thoroughly. You can actually go back through my videos and you can locate that one. Sharon, you're making a fool of yourself.
Represent the United so-called colonies of Great Britain. That was what that agreement was. Established in 1791. The Treaty of Peace and Friendship supersedes that. It's priority. It is the supreme laws of the land between Moors and between the so-called United States citizens and the property of those things that are protected by the United States citizens. Do you understand?
It means what it says it means. And if you read it, you will see it's talking about cargo. It's not. The only thing it means anything to is American citizens. You guys read. Don't listen to what she is parroting from Taj Tariq. Read it yourself. I can tell you that the majority of the stuff that I've heard so far is 100% false on its face. And better, I can prove it. I've already proven it many times in the past on my channel. I'm going to stop it here. This is part 1. I'll be doing part 2 soon, because this is too good to pass up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And to those Moors that might be watching this video, don't you do it. Don't give up your individualism to follow a cult leader. You keep checking your facts. I don't care if you check them with me, check them with others that are opposing views to this. Factual information provided to you by sourced and verified links that you can read yourself are very, very important here. Sharon is not just mistaken. She's flat out wrong. And the proof is in the pudding. Sharon couldn't even get herself out of jail, let alone get you out of trouble in the event that you try these things and you find yourself caught up. All right, everyone. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.